In this video, I'm going to explain how to add customers to the customer catalog in Red Rhino estimating software. Now, the first thing that we'll do, we're on the home page of Red Rhino, and we're going to click on customers, okay? And next, we'll click on customer catalog. Now, let me explain something. It takes a little bit of time here to create these customers. You'll see that I added a customer here called Jacobs Contracting, and Red Rhino, I should say, comes with a sample customer, okay, with the information pre-populated in here, just as an example. But here is how you add a new customer or customers to the customer catalog. And let me just explain something to you. It's really well worth the time it takes to do this because it saves you time in the long run. Eventually, when you go create proposals, you'll need this information in there to populate to proposals. Or if you go create jobs in Red Rhino software, or change orders or change order estimates, this will save you a ton of time if you just do it out front. So I'm going to just start by clicking the new button over here, and it opens a new window for us. Okay, so the information on any form in Red Rhino that has a little asterisk over here, see the asterisk next to customer name and address and all that? That means it's a required field. Now, I'm just going to take a second. I'm going to pause the video, and I'm going to fill out some of this information. You don't have to sit through it all. But again, just know that anything with a asterisk, like that phone number, is required information. Now, when I get there, and I'll actually come back on and record that, but if you click the same as customer information here, over here on the right by billing information, it'll populate the information over here. I'll show you more in a minute. Let me just pause the recording of it. Next screen you'll see is this stuff filled out, most of it. So the number at the top here, let me just say I populated these fields here, and you'll notice the number populated itself here, okay, in order. So I didn't put in the 3 there. The program actually did that when I opened this window. So okay, you can see I populated down here on the left the time and material defaults, okay? I populated these. Now again, determine what that is for your company. I put in $65 for the billing rate, mark it up 10 and 10 for materials, okay, meaning 10% overhead and another 10% for profit. Then I'm marking my labor up another 10% overhead and profit. and set the general foreman rate at 75. And here, look here, every time I create a time and material invoice, it'll pre-populate the truck charge at what I set here at $45. And then you want to set the tax percent for what you pay in your area for sales tax. Now I started recording again because I wanted to show you something here. Is this right here defaults with a blank, okay? Let me put the blank there. So it defaults with default change order material price, select vendor discount. You're just going to put best discount and selected vendor. You'll choose, oops, okay, sorry. You select the best discount there and just leave the vendor alone, okay? And then you'll fill out your billing rate. Now, if you have a certain amount that you want to charge for change orders, then you put that in here. And when you go create change orders for this customer, it'll automatically populate those rates in. Now, I'm going to make something up here, but make sure that you default, you set up your own defaults for this. I'm going to say it's 75 bucks an hour for a change order billing rate. And the overhead percent is 10, the profit is 10. Now, again, you can set these any way you want, 10 and 5, 15 and 10, 15 and 15. I'm going to set the general foreman rate at about $10 an hour over the billing rate, which is 85. Tax percent in my area, 8.75. And the bond percent. Now, look, here's something that Red Rhino does for you if you set this up. If you have to pay a bid bond to bid these certain jobs, say 2.5 or 3.5%, you would go put those percents in this bond percent. And when you create a change order, it'll automatically add 2.5 or 3.5%. That's 2.5 or 3.5. Let me just show you. If I was doing this, in our area, we pay about 2.5 to 3%. I'll just say 3.0%, okay? If I left it like that, it would add another 3% on top of the entire estimate for a change order, okay? I'm going to change it back to 0. I was just showing you how to do that. And then general foreman percent, I won't take a lot of time to explain that, but if I have a job with 100 hours in it, and I set this up for 5% general foreman hours, then it will add an additional 5% to whatever the total is. Now, I'm going to set it up that way for 5%. You can always change it at the change order estimate, just so you know. I'm going to set it for 5% for default, okay? Now, when I scroll up here, I have to save this. Make sure you save your work, okay? If you just navigate away, you'll have to do it again. I'm going to save my work here, and this saves you a ton of time, okay? Right here. I just want to share one more thing about this. Now, when I saved it, I just want you to notice these red letters here, okay? See, it says note to add, edit, or delete this customer's contacts. Click the contacts button above. So this is the contacts button. Now let me explain exactly what that means. Let's say that Scott Morgan at Morgan Builders here, Scott Morgan is just one of the people I would bid jobs to. So if they have 2 or more people that I might bid the job to, then I will go into contacts over here. I'm not going to walk through the whole thing, but I'll show you the basis of it. I'm going to go into contacts. I'm going to create a new contact here. I'll just go ahead and do it. I'll click on new contact. Okay, I'll type in their name. Jim Fredrickson. I can type in a department if I want, maybe small projects, large projects, service department. Of course, type in his email address. I'm making this up, of course. Now, if I check selected, then it will default his information for this company on any document I create. Okay. Now, I'm not going to select him as a default. I'm just going to save it. Then I'll show you another step you'll need to do. So I saved it there, and then so notice how it populated his name, email address, and phone number here. let me just click on his name here. Oh, I was going to Jim Frederickson is what I meant. There's no phone. That's what I meant to say. Okay. So with Jim Frederickson, I click on this now, and to type in a new phone number, I click new phone number, and then I type in his number, okay, and select which one it is, home, what, fax, mobile, or office. I'm going to make it his office number. I could type some notes in here if I want, and then I just save it, okay? Now again, this is if you have multiple people. Let me just go back to the document. This is the actual customer contact information that I just created. And again, if I had more contacts, you want to go over here and click this contacts and add other people to this customer, okay? Again, this is the basis for how you get started almost doing anything in Red Rhino, okay? Critical path that you go ahead and fill this information out, okay? Saves you time later, lots of time. That's it for this video.